Hey guys, this is Mayor from AngelDAO, and today I'm going to demo Protect. This was a project that we submitted for the ETH Lisbon Hackathon, and I'd like to give a thanks to Daigaro from Fuji and Tiago, who helped us with this project, and were part of our team. And with that being said, Protect is a call options platform built on Pods Finance, with underlying assets being synthetic commodities from Komodo, which is a synthetic asset platform built on Redstone Oracle, which is a new oracle that has pricing data for all sorts of commodities. Like you can see here, we have cheese, you have like corn, milk, gas, cattle. So Redstone Oracle is able to provide pricing data for all of these, and that enables the creation of many new types of synthetic assets that we can use as underlying in these call options. And because these are call options, it gives you the option to buy the asset at a future price. And that basically can be used to hedge against inflation. So if you buy a call option to buy cheese in the future at, let's say, the current price, or slightly underneath the current price or whatever, and then if there's a ton of inflation, hyperinflation, some kind of extreme situation in developing countries, and the price of cheese like quadruples, you can still buy that synthetic cheese at the same price. And so you're hedged from that inflation. So that's the purpose of Protect. How it works here in the interface is you choose an underlying. So for each underlying, there's several options you can choose from. But let's say you want to do cattle, you can choose cattle or gas, milk. And this is not oil, this is actually like gasoline. And this is all possible, again, because of the Redstone Oracle. So for this demo, I'm going to choose cheese. And then you can choose the option that you want. So there's various options with different strike prices and expiries. A couple ending in December, one ending in end of December, end of November for one of them, and different strike prices. You can see, like, I think at the time of creation of this option, cheese was at $1.90, and we had a few options as well that were slightly below that. And then you would basically just put here the amount of options in USDC that you want to buy. And in a future version, we would show you like how many options that actually is as well. For now, I'll just put like one. Connect your wallet. Click hedge, execute. Okay, so that just took a minute to load, but you can see the transaction popped up a few seconds later. And I'm going to go ahead and execute. This is on the Covam testnet. So you can see that as soon as this transaction is approved, we will have purchased the option. And again, this doesn't mean we're purchasing the underlying asset, we're just purchasing the option. So meanwhile, let's take a look at the underlying assets that we have available. This is Komodo. This is a synthetic commodities platform. It's built on Redstone, which is a new Oracle platform. So you can do like synthetic oats, we're using gasoline, we're using corn, and it's very similar to any synthetic asset platform on, in DeFi today. So you have collateral, you top up your collateral. Let's say you put in an ETH. You have your balance of actual synthetic tokens, and depending on how much collateral you have, you can mint more synthetic tokens. You always want to remain over collateralized. So this helpful widget here will show you if you're in danger of being under collateralized, so you should maintain at least 120% CR is the recommendation here, and oftentimes people will choose to maintain slightly higher just to be safe in case the price changes quickly. Yeah, so that's basically Komodo. Those are the synthetic commodities that we're using as the underlying assets. And then if I go back to Protect, we can also check out managing liquidity on pods. So first of all, let's see that our transaction on Covan went through. We bought the pod call Komodo cheese cash settled at 1.9 USD USDC. So now let's go to manage liquidity, and this is actually now in the pods application. And you can see basically information about obviously the option, expiration, implied volatility. This is a demonstration number here. The implied volatility is calculated with Black-Scholes formula. And if you're looking to get started with pods, I would suggest to kind of reach out to them in their Discord and get some more information how to calculate that. It's a very important thing that's used basically to calculate the price of an option. And when you mint a new option, you need to generate this yourself, and then over time the AMM will estimate this based on trading. So yeah, pods has more functionality, so you can basically mint options here, add liquidity in the AMM. So you can see we have some options now from here, and I'm gonna go ahead and you could just, obviously it's like Uniswap basically, you can add liquidity, and this is the recommended amount based on the implied volatility. And these are just some historical data. You could remove liquidity, and yeah, so that's basically how you could buy and sell options if you didn't want to mint them yourself, or if you did mint them yourself and you wanted to sell them. Maybe the price spikes really high during the lifetime of the option, but you think it's going to go down, so you could sell the option. And these are some of the options that we actually minted during the hackathon. So we did 3 of each with different strike prices, different expiries. And we also built a deployer, a couple deployer scripts that are useful when you're trying to deploy large numbers of these things. So basically, if you go to any website that can basically turn CSV into a JSON file, you just download this file as a CSV here. Just Google CSV to JSON file. You'd end up with something like this, like an array of these, because this is the title here, like underlying asset here. So, and then this is the value. So we just convert it to a JSON format here. You can input that into the parameters here. Obviously, you can change some of the chain details here, and yeah, that's obvious. And then yeah, you'd be able to actually mint these call options programmatically. So if you're minting like hundreds of them, it could save you a lot of time. So the first step is actually to create the option. So there's an option factory which will create the option, and you have to actually mint options from the option contract. So that's this step over here, and in order to do that, you have to approve the underlying asset as well. And then it will basically save the results for you in a JSON file. The next step after you create the options and mint the options is to create the pools. So again, we have our results here. This will be the results that the last file generated. As you can see, the difference here is we didn't have the option address yet, and in this file we have the option address. So yeah, basically we'll just go through here, and you can see there's an option AMM factory again, so we're going to create new pools. So you have the option address, the strike address, and it'll create the pools, save the results, and you can add liquidity. And for this stage, you'll need to get the IV. So you need to basically do the mathematics to calculate the initial implied volatility. And again, I would recommend talking with the team at Pods for this stage. I think in the future there will be some kind of tool. And there are tools online that you could use. It's not like it's not something that's not open knowledge, but it's just something it's good to have second pair of eyes taking a look at it. Yeah, so first of all, obviously we're just going to approve the underlying, approve the collateral, approve USDC, add liquidity, and just save everything. And then, yeah, that's basically it. You can now take these saved data from the final JSON file, pool results.json, and you can just use that directly in your application. So hopefully, if anybody needs to deploy many types of options with many different strike prices, expiry dates, this could be very helpful for them. And hopefully you guys like Protect as well. Also check out Redstone. They're the ones that created Komodo. I'll go to take out the Komodo subdomain. I'll go straight to Redstone. And you can see that they have lots of Oracle data that other oracles are not able to provide. Over 1,000 pricing points. So you have like metals, energies, crude oil, natural gas, ethanol, grains, so corn, all this different stuff. Yeah, so a lot of different stuff here. So if you're looking for some kind of pricing data that is not available on other oracles, I would suggest talking to Redstone. The team is also able to kind of accommodate you if you have some kind of data that you want to import into their system. So it's pretty easy to get new price feeds added. So yeah, that's Protect, and definitely check out Pods Finance, check out Redstone. Thanks again to Daigaro and Tiago.